distractions, and what's been on your weekly playlist. Let's pass it to Durganas first.
Yeah, I just popped in to see what was up and if I could follow up with anything that happened. But I mean, I'm kind of not really being in meetings. I'm just kind of in Discord right now, so make sure I don't miss the the call from me doing the 11 o'clock. So and my distraction is I'm obviously at work and there's a few things going on. We're testing Zoom in our organization, so I might have to pop in and out. So if you see me doing that, it's because I have to do that. I'll pass it to Eduardo.
Thank you, Durgan. It's nice to see you around, though. Intentions. I wanna present or just share statistics that Septimus got out from Discord, so we can add that to the last point of the agenda. Just a few analytics that we can share, and distraction that I'm finishing the document. So that's my main distractions, and I will pass it on to Manu.
Thanks, Edu. Intentions. Yeah, see what I can help with over here. That's pretty much it. No distractions, or maybe distraction connecting the distraction with what's been on my playlist. The Tan Bonita by Piso 21. Tan bonita como tú, tan bonita y sola. That's just on repeat all day long. I just can't get it out. I know it's pop, but yeah, nothing wrong with pop. I like pop. Anyway, I'll pass it to Septi.
Bueno, yeah, my intention is just to come back to latest.com, and I do not have any distraction now for music. I've been listening and got mad about lately, and what I'm working out, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll pass it to Nate.
Sorry, were we supposed to give music we were listening to?
Yeah, it's like what if you want to share with rest of the community some music or podcast, or it could also be like a TV show, just anything that you've been absorbing creatively.
Oh yeah,
week.
so I've been listening a lot to sorry.
But also share it on Coffee Channel so we can see it too. Just that.
Oh. So we just finished Ted Lasso, so that was good. Kind of in the middle of Foundation. So also been listening a lot to Alter Bridge's Blackbird album, which is quite beautiful, quite sad, but also very kick-ass. So I think I shared that with Manu and them earlier. So so I might have seen that shared that with other people before. Sorry to interrupt.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's pass it back to Nate.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Foundation is really, I'm digging it right now. I would say my intentions are to get updated on the team, see where you guys are at with that, and see if I can help out in any way. And then distractions are my wife just made me some pizza for breakfast, which is pretty dope. Really happy about that. It's really cool. And my playlist, I've been listening to the Hamilton soundtrack this past week for some odd reason, just jamming it on repeat. So I will pass it to Ricardo.
Hello, Ricardo. Welcome. What we usually do in this first part of the call is share our intentions for the call, any distractions that you might be having, and just some music that you've been listening to. Would you like to introduce yourself with this?
Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. My name is Ricardo. I'm from Mexico, and I'm a photographer and a designer, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. And we also have a culture of passing. So if you want to pass it to somebody else, that's okay. And if you're not sure, I can pass it for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can help me, please. Thank you,
Okay,
Chuy.
let's pass it to Nick.
Hi. My intentions for today is, I guess, just catch up and also like mention that I'm gonna work with Manu on coming up with content for like the homepage and distractions. I'm working on my playlist right now, actually. Yeah, just rearranging it. And then what's been on my playlist? I guess I can share my playlist on the cafe thing. I'll pass to Tam.
Hey. So first, I'd like to say that the Hamilton soundtrack is something that we play a lot in this house, and it's one of my favorites to run to. And I think I could sing along like word by word with every song at this point.
Can we please hold a concert?
Yeah, let's do that. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah. So yeah, kudos for mentioning that. I'm not really listening to anything. I haven't been running. I haven't been exercising. I'm just sitting at my desk. But I watched 2 family-friendly anime movies over this weekend. One is Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, and the other one is Your Name, and I found them both quite charming and sweet. So for family-friendly anime, those are 2 recommendations I have. And intentions, I'd love to see what Comms is doing. You guys are in the forefront of a lot of stuff. Distractions, yeah, I have a bunch of other things I'm trying to do at the same time, so I'm going to be like 80-20 for most of it. And I'll pass back to Chuy to pass on. Actually, Acid Laser, you didn't go, did you?
Thanks, Sam. Your Name is an amazing movie. So my intentions is just to see what's going on with T.E.A.M and sing with you guys. Anime playlist. I've been listening to a band from Spain called El Último Vecino. I used to listen those guys in my adolescence, and it's good to hear them back at these days. And I don't know who's left, so back to you, Chuy. Thank you.
I think David, Juanca, and Ivy are the ones that are left. Let's pass it to Ivy.
This one, intention is to just listen to this call and see where I can support. And distraction, none. And playlist, I've been listening to the same old music. I don't, yeah, it's just always Taylor Swift. So yeah, I pass it to Wanka.
Thanks, Ivy. Yeah, my intention is to sing with you guys. I don't have any distraction, and I've been listening to this piano played in the Aurora Boreal in Finland. Yeah, it's really good. It's like an hour long, and it's like relaxing. So yeah, I just posted it in cafe. I don't know if Nick went or David.
Nick went. Our last one is David.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Intentions are to get caught up with the Comms family and the team's down to see what's going on. Distractions. I'm waiting for a very important package to arrive to the house today, and it's kind of keeping me distracted a little bit. I don't want to miss the knock on the door. And playlist is empty. I've just been enjoying silence this week. Way too much going on. So the silence has been a nice antidote. And with that, I'll pass it back to Chuy.
Thank you, David. For me, intentions, I am super excited today because I'm finally presenting the team funding proposal. I feel in a decent form for the advice process. So that's like my main intention today. Regarding distractions, I started running again in the morning, but I feel that it's actually like it gives me like more focus. So I wouldn't say it's a distraction, but I wanted to share that. And weekly playlist. I really wanted to say Frank Zappa because I listened to some of it during the weekend, but it's also exhausting. Um, so I'll go with David, and I'll say that my playlist has been pretty quiet in the beginning of this week. Uh, so yeah, hopefully I can uh, start listening to something again. Okay, so let's start with our first agenda topic, which is the team presentation. Um, Please, if you have any questions or just anything that comes to mind, please don't hesitate in interrupting. I'm gonna take as many notes as possible for having the more information possible for the forum post. Um, so yeah, let's start. Um, So this is T.E.A.M. This is going to be the Token Engineering Amplify Messenger, and it's going to be a public good for token engineering, providing communication services to token engineering related projects. So these are some of our goals that you've seen in the past. Also keep strengthening the TEC as a shelling point for token engineering. Raise awareness about token engineering as an emerging discipline, encouraging token engineers to contribute with development and newcomers to get involved in education. And produce projects that will spread the message about token engineering and its relevance in a Web3 near future. To be clear, just so that I can go through this point again, because it was one of the most confusing points when we initially presented this. This is not a divorce. We are still going to be a working group in the TEC. We're going to be super close. The TEC is our home. And I'll show you why in some more slides. This is intended to make buying the TEC token attractive to other projects so that they can submit proposals with their communication needs. Being our own DAO will provide more transparency to the working group sustainability while becoming more independent, while still being reviewed by the TEC community. Sorry, I repeated that word. And T.E.A.M will be able to bring contributors close to the token engineering field while diversifying their functions among token engineering projects. We want T.E.A.M to be a public good for marketing needs to any project that advances token engineering, not just the token engineering company. So what do we need in T.E.A.M? We need campaign planning and execution. We need marketing strategies. We need graphic design, and we need social media management. I'm going to come back to the manifesto a little bit later, but I just wanted to mention this summary that I wrote in the beginning of it, which is T.E.A.M works as a decentralized app agency that provides communication services to projects that help advance token engineering. Although stewardship is a guidance resource from the TEC, T.E.A.M contributors are encouraged to have initiatives that will eventually become autonomous projects. What I want to say with this is that stewardship is going to be an active role in T.E.A.M. However, I don't want this to come off as something like hierarchical, because as soon as contributors start being more regular to the community, they are going to start also being part of the decision-making process that we take, especially if it's around assigning teams to projects. So this is definitely going to be something that we're going to be community reviewing constantly. So the stewardship role is build comms bridges with other token engineering related DAOs or projects and guide new contributors. That's going to be like the more specific function that the stewards are going to have in T.E.A.M. Project
Should
manager.
we hold our questions to the end, or can I ask something about
Go
this?
ahead, Rigada. Yeah, shoot it. It's fine.
my question is, I mean, are we limiting ourselves in terms of saying that we are the amplified messengers only for token engineering things? That is to say, you know, is there a reason why we specifically chose to do that?
I just feel that in terms of the community's MVV, mission, vision, values, I feel that communications is something missing from a lot of token engineering related projects. So since our goal is to advance token engineering, what we want to do is to be able to provide for these services that are missing. However, we are not, let's say, we are not like a closed community in that sense. Like if contributors would like to try like other DAOs or other topics like regarding projects, they are free to do so. There are like we're not gonna have like any like kind of like contracts or commitments like this. And on the contrary, I would say that once we kickstart like that intention for building communications for T.E.A.M projects, I would say that what we encourage is coordination in communications with other communities. I wouldn't say that we encourage like this sense of belonging to the TEC or something, you know, that keeps you close to the community or like any kind of commitment. On the contrary, what I say that we can encourage is like building these special units for projects that are going to be able to help with their communication, and we as Token Engineering Commons are going to be supporting. If at some point this project becomes sustainable and they are in a more like advanced phase, I would go for, you know, maybe being able to integrate whatever team we assigned to that community so that they can become like their own independent communications team. I would say that this is what we are aiming for. So in essence, what we provide is coordination and guidance for forming this team. Is this what you meant with your question?
Yeah, so maybe right now we're going to focus on token engineering, but later on we could maybe do something else. The reason why I asked the question is if you're starting with TE in the team, then you're fundamentally limiting yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like just right from the start. And so like I just, you know, seemed like a funny thing to do if we did have a plan to later expand, you know, to sort of, you know, do that. So I don't know. That was my observation.
Yeah, Liddy had a great idea, actually, about if we're gonna have like a lot of creatives collaborating with us, maybe like putting together like some NFT collection or campaign that is gonna be promoted to support token engineering in some sense. I mean, there are like some other projects and stuff that we can explore. But yeah, I would say that starting with TE could be like an initial boundary. However, we'll keep this in observation in the following months to see if we can grow like in any other field. Nate, I think you wanted to say something?
No, I was just going to say I think the boundary is actually a really good thing, especially if they're going to be utilizing rewards from the TE Commons. Having that boundary and for that fact, and for the fact that I think that TE projects in particular will have a different structural organization for their communication needs compared to something like a DeFi project or an NFT or a metaverse project. Like, and I think making sure that we have that type of organization around the needs for TE projects in particular are really important. And then if there's other, the whole point of this is to be reproducible. So if somebody in the metaverse section or DeFi section wants to create their own comms, they can format their communications teams in whatever way they feel like it. But I do think that it should have strict boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. Both boundaries and autonomy, I would say. But the whole point of being thinking is to address this issue that has been being talked about lately, which is like coordination around communication. Like instead of promoting like having independent teams, like we want to be like still like a team community. So if team says that they're running like this campaign that this other team says that we can combine because there's something related between the two, that's what team wants to provide, like the platform so that these kind of collaborations can happen, but never under like a traditional scheme. Like I know I mentioned an ad agency, which it was like something that I thought it was risky because it's so related and so heavily associated with a hierarchy, right? Or with how creatives take decisions based in an established hierarchy. So yes, this is definitely something that we're not going to be removing attention from. So project managers would be the ones like that follow up like through these proposals and that can in a way like coordinate like smaller teams. So this is the project managers would be like this basis of our autonomy. So let's say that Acid Laser has been a contributor for comms for many months now. So most of the community are like more aware of the value of his contributions. But I would say that more importantly, like he knows and has a better idea than back when he got here about what these contributions mean, how they support the community's goals. So by now, let's say that Acid Laser being like a contributor, he could, for example, like start, hey, like I want to take the content workshop to a new level, right? Like I want to start like a design workshop, and I want this to be a space for like educating graphic designers around it. So the idea is for people to gain like this initiative, let's say, for putting together different projects that they can execute, and that this can help other token engineering economy projects to keep advancing their field. But before becoming a project manager, I say that different contributors are so needed in the space. Like writers and editors, graphic designers, social media manager, as most of you have seen, especially if you're aware about other communities and DAOs, there is like this huge need for communications and for coordination around it. So what we want is to establish a bounty system where we're gonna have this bounty board, or I'm trying to see if there's a way in which we can combine it with Superfluid, because I really love that idea last week. And also, for those of you who don't know, the Common Swarm has been working on a Superfluid fork that combines it with conviction voting, and it's called osmotic funding. It's super cool. It's really nice. I'm gonna try to share a link in the comms channel for everyone to check it out. This is a tool that maybe we could start using, but we will need to like ask ourselves like how are we gonna use conviction voting, how this will contribute to having a more like horizontal structure around team and what we can do. So yeah, the idea is for these contributors to start blending in with the community by claiming these bounties, and also by participating in different decision-making processes. Ideally, having them involved with our governance and our conviction voting would be the cool stuff where to start. However, we really want to promote also what was the word, like for off-chain voting and signaling voting on the forum. This is something that we also want to keep we want to keep close to this, because it's the basis, like establishing these things is the basis of creative coordination. So yes, we really want to put an effort around what contributors can do and how they can participate. And the last part would be new creatives who are gonna be, let's say, in an observation phase. And as long as they interact with the community in some sense, they're going to be incentivized to do this by our reward system. So this is the contributors process. This is something that was raised in the call last week. So the idea is for creative to have a first approach to TEC. So if graphic designer, social media manager, writer, like anyone like comes into the TEC and is like, I love what you guys do, but I don't really know like where do I fit. So Communitas is also taking some really nice steps towards answering this question. But as soon as Communitas knows that they are talking to like some kind of creative, I feel that that's like like a really good moment in which they could be like, in a way, like sending them like to us, or it's like, oh, you really have to check out comms, right? Because there are like some bounties that you can claim, and by like hanging out with them and attending some of the meetings, like you could qualify for our reward system. So this is like baby steps when it comes to incentivizing, because as many of you know, like contributions work very differently in this space. So I would heavily rely on the reward system to fill in like this gap in the middle between I'm new to a community and I'm starting to meet people and starting to understand their objectives, and I'm a contributor that can claim bounties. So the gap in between, I would rely heavily on our reward system. It's super surprising when, by attending like some calls or giving your opinion on something, even if you don't think like you're like prepared enough or anything, like sometimes giving your feedback, especially in the parameters working group, even I don't know what this is about feedback is so valuable. So by engaging with this kind of contributions, the reward system will start giving our governance token to these new contributors. So when they have this governance token, I feel that the question, what do I do with this? It's like a really nice step, a really nice next step towards where contributors can be going. And by participating in our governance, they're gonna be like still like more and more engaged. And I feel that they are already like in a way completing the basis for like claiming bounties and having a better idea on how contributions work in this space. So this thing like right here in the middle, the reward system, and this gap that I'm talking about is something that I'm very interested in listening to some of your feedback. So I'll just quickly pass to this next slide to explain it, because I also feel that it's important. And after this, I'm gonna have a pause to gather some of your feedback on this specific point. So the Token Engineering Commons will be providing for new contributors to the reward system and to other token engineering DAO related communities. So whenever we have new contributors, they have the option of contributing directly to the TEC or start contributing in other token engineering related projects, which I think can be more associated to bounty claiming. And this first part, the contributing the TEC part, I would say that relies more in the reward system. in that this could be like a nice contributing another TE related project is like a nice next step whenever people are already like engaged and understand what our objectives are. And regarding other communities, I feel that also the Spotlight is a really nice tool for promoting this. They can approach us requesting communication support, or they can also be asking for a direct service of coordinating a campaign or something that through different collaboration we could put together. So I would say that this is like the new contributors, the reward system, and other communities are like the different ingredients of T.E.A.M. And how we coordinate these to optimize results could be a really good summary of what we're trying to achieve, at least in these first months. So before going to funding and numbers and other kind of stuff, I would like to open the stage for any feedback. I know that probably Communitas already has like some questions, so I'll just pass it to Edu, and from there on, I'm gonna be taking notes.
I'm gonna skip on this because I need to read it a little bit through before giving a correct opinion. I will pass it on to Tom in case she has feedback.
I really like it. I really like what you've done. I don't know that I have necessarily any questions. Did you drop it in the comms working channel already, the document? I don't know where to find it, actually. I didn't find it on the agenda.
No, sorry, I'll add it to the agenda. I always forget this part. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was watching along on the screen. I mean, I think it's really great. I think that, you know, when the Communitas team is working on the onboarding flow now, trying to sort of match working groups with skills that are desired is one of the things that's important to do. So I think it goes into the normal flow that Communitas will be building into matching skills and needs across working groups. I really liked. Can you go back to one screen? Wait, can you go back to the? No, the next one actually. Yeah, the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is super interesting actually because you know, the idea of like of comms as a public good for TE really clicked when you first announced it, and this idea that there's going to be TEC specific projects, but also TE Academy and perhaps Token Log and all of these other great token engineering projects that don't have the support that they might need right now is super appealing. So I like the idea of expanding the net to include all of token engineering, because so many of the the token engineering for good projects don't have, you know, deep pockets for this kind of comms. It's the more DeFi projects that have deep pockets, but there's so many underrepresented, underserved projects that could get a lot more traction. And I think I love that aspect of this plan so much, actually. So I think it's really nice work that you guys have done here.
Thank you, Tam.
Maybe to be more specific, and this is for every working group, you know, having a list of specific skills to, you know, search for when people are joining is super helpful in the conversations on the onboarding. So, you know, it's pretty clear, like designers, social media managers. What was the other one that you had? Those are pretty obvious. But if there's any more like specific skills, yeah, marketing, campaign planning, and yeah. These are pretty obvious ones, I guess. But if there's more, like the more specific you can get, the easier it is to match new people who jump on with those skills too.
Okay, yes, I'll put together like a list of skills. I don't think I have done that so far. Like specific skills, or like, I don't know, like if someone likes like drawing, it may be like a few steps like before graphic design, but you know, like who knows? It's I'll work on this. I'll work on this different skill list. I'll see if I'm able to support communities with that.
I don't want to give you more work to do, but I don't want to give more work to do. But if there is something specific, like just in general, creatives should be channeled towards comms is good to know. I mean, it's known already. But if there's anything more specific that you're looking for, we can also ask people during the orientation. But I wouldn't say do more work for no reason. Just if it comes up.
Okay. Does anybody else want to provide some feedback by this point?
Yeah, I just kind of want to share some thoughts real quick. Sorry. And I kind of want to hear T.E.A.M's view on this as well, because when I think about the comms in particular, there's a lot of creatives, and you're going to have a lot of people who are wanting to contribute to this type of TEC comms DAO. And so what I get concerned about is this kind of initial state of the DAO and how open you are to new contributors, and how open we are to having people contribute and constantly finding pathways of participation for them. Especially when you have a very defined set of functions that you're trying to provide for these TE projects. And so, part of me thinks that you should start, it should be very closed at the beginning and follow this kind of map of progressive decentralization, where you just say, okay, I've got, Acid Laser, you're doing the design stuff, and you've got maybe a couple of contributors who are underneath you that you're helping build the infrastructure for design processes and so on. And as you get more work, then you can start adding more contributors and so on and so forth. But rather having it closed at the beginning and then kind of progressively becoming more open to other onboarding new people. But I just feel like that's something that if addressed early could probably help with the transition, but I'm not sure. It's just something that's been on my mind about this. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
I have some thoughts that, just in my experience, you don't know when the right person is going to enter the TEC. And, it's just like there's this serendipity. It's like I'm just generally leaning against closing things, because closing doors then don't, you have missed opportunities. I think that the most of our working groups are super transparent and open, and actually that's what's made us so successful, and that probably all of us are going to be able to handle transitioning to this new funding model, and transparency will help us stay transparent and open. But I love the idea of having the right person come at the right time with the right need, and just I think that's part of how the magic happens. Does that make sense, Nate?
Yeah, it does. I just, I always think about in terms of making sure that the reward system is prepared for all these different types of contributors, and making sure that you're mitigating conflict that's going to end up happening, because a lot of people are going to want it, and perhaps you just have to really focus on the bounties right at the beginning and make sure that you have a lot of bounties available for contributors to take on. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of address that type of issue that I was thinking about.
Maybe I didn't catch exactly why the reward system was in question.
I guess if you're wanting to do some type of kind of base pay for certain roles, you're going to have a lot of people wanting those roles, and maybe they're talented, maybe they're not talented, maybe they're just brand new, fresh off thing. You're going to have to spend a lot of time trying to navigate those types of decisions, when you should be just focusing on growing the amount of work that's available to the contributors in the first place. And so, yeah.
Well, the funding proposal is fixed, right? So each working group will only be able to compensate a base payment for a certain number of contributors. And after that, they'll have to wait till the next funding round.
Yeah, so I guess I would say unless you have a really good design pattern for what you're offering these TE projects, based off of the people that you do have, you're not going to have I mean, you're gonna need a lot of bounties available for you to efficiently onboard talented new members, because they're not gonna stick around and they're not gonna stay engaged if that's the case. So I just throwing it out there. It's just something I've been thinking about recently.
Like I don't know. I don't know if this is like brutal honesty, like in a way, but I feel that like at some point, and I feel that it's also part of like our own reward system journey. At some point, our reward system is gonna get gamed, like in some way or another. It's just like I feel that sometimes it's like inevitable, and unfortunately, most of the people surrounding this gaming are associated with what we're looking for. Graphic design, like different stuff, right? Like if someone uploads a design that doesn't really go with our guidelines, or like in a very, very, not even in an experimental way, right? It's just like something that is like put together like super simple. And some other people is like, hey, I'm gonna react to your contribution if you react to mine. Like that kind of stuff, I feel that is gonna happen. And people by themselves are gonna try to like claim or aim value like towards one direction. But this does not necessarily mean that these contributions are valuable to the objectives that we are looking for, right? However, because of our current status, like we need a lot of volunteers. Like we need like graphic designers, we need social media managers. Like not because there's like a lot to do currently, but I feel that there's gonna be a lot to do eventually, and people can't really like get in the TEC and get everything that we do in a couple of days. So I feel that this engagement by itself is gonna be very important to give us a better idea also of the kind of contributors that we're dealing with. There's gonna be a super clear difference between people that are like making their first attempt, but they are like improving and they take feedback, and people that just like try to game and get as many rewards as possible. Like I feel that there's gonna be a super clear difference, and I feel that people that are improving and that are expanding their knowledge about the TEC are the ones that, in a way, by design, are the only ones that are going to be able to claim bounty. So even if this person doesn't like to contribute to the TEC like a month after this, their contributions and their bounties will make sure that these are followed, right? Because we're not gonna pay for a bounty that doesn't really like fulfill these needs. So yeah, I guess it's a journey that we'll eventually have to take. Lily, did you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you. I think we have like hearing you this topic of the reward systems. I think we do have a complex structure that is built to mitigate these types of situations. So there's so much work happening in the onboarding side now, and we're getting like a feeling of who are the people that are joining, what they're interested in, how can we guide them to the best direction. And then there is a whole like governance system for what are the processes we need to make decisions, and we made it in a way where it's very communicative, so people always have to be in touch with each other to like move on with decisions. And also like the heart of praise is like how people are evaluating the work that is being done. So it's also like a tool for monitoring. It's not only like people were gaming the system by themselves, they would have to game the system towards others as well. And that would eventually show in the analysis process and in the quantification. So I think one of the things that we always thought about the TEC is that the human structure would be so like heavy and distributed that it's really hard to pass things off as like relationship webs. And I think we should like trust that is like that is holding us, and that of course we'll learn how to improve the bounty systems and the proposals, and also thinking that a proposal to the DAO is also a reward system that can also be gamed, and that is something that like the whole DAO ecosystem is looking into how to stop those things. And I think the culture is like the biggest rock for it.
Thank you, Livy. Yes, this is a really good point. It's not just the source grid part; it's also a phrase. So yes, this will probably like save a bunch of trouble. Thank you for this. Does anybody else have some opinions or feedback that they would like to give so far, or should I pass to the last part of the presentation? Okay, let's go. So I listened also to some of the feedback and concerns that there were about differences in payment. And once like the whole part about reward system and let's say just like the bounty system was like a better like filter for, not filter, but like encouragement process for getting more involved with bounties and with project management. So I feel that relying on this incentive alignment is always going to be much better than this is how much you earned here, but if you would like to like expand and earn more, like it just like made sense. So I took the base rate that the community usually uses, which is 19 DAI per hour, and I landed it here for like different functions. So in a way, this difference between like external projects and internal projects kind of like fades away. And if we are able to sustain the TEC comms, we're going to be able also to provide to other projects. So it just made more sense like this. And as an example, I also set some of these roles, which is communication stewarding, project manager, I'm sorry, social media manager, graphic designer, and just like a different example of a social media manager, but maybe they are like involved in a project where they don't need as much time, right? So there are like different fits for different kinds of contributors. Also, writer editors, it's not that they are like hard capped for a maximum of 6 hours per week. Like, of course, like everyone could do like more hours, but they're all going to be like having the same base rate. Our roadmap will be I just took everything and put it instead of October. We are mostly going to be ready by November, but still this is like not confirmed. But once we launch, the idea is to have this funding proposal ready so that we can post it and already have gone through the advice process and request this funding so that starting new year, we can be our own DAO, which is super exciting. And yes, we would like also to gather some of the needs in the different projects so that we can start structuring the different services that we're going to be providing. So if everything goes well, I say that by March or April, success looks like being executing communications projects for other DAOs, and also be able to put ourselves through an audit process that also will keep us like not distracted from transparency, because I feel that it's the point that we should always like come back to see if we are complying with these transparency principles that the community has, and yeah, that's always going to be like a good point to go back and see if we're doing things right for our community, not only tied to our own like results, let's say, especially if it's around social media and if it's about like growing numbers, and it's like this is not necessarily a signal of success as being transparent with our own community. So yeah, this was it. Like the last part of it was the roadmap, and just going really quick to our manifesto. I added this summary, and I also added this changes last week, which you were able to see, which is like the stewardship duties and some of the contribution stages, which is the same, pretty much the same thing that we saw here in team roles. So the next step for us would be to lay all of this down in a document that can be shared in through the forum, so that we can open discussion for advice process, like a formal advice process by now. So I would really like to thank everyone that enriched this process and this proposal. I'm really looking forward to the forum part. Be tough, question everything. Like, we want to be much better, and we want to be as prepared as possible. So if there's anything that you can think of, any flaws in the design or whatever, please let us know. Please let us know. I'm going to be posting this during the rest of the week. And really, thanks everyone for the support in this design. Does anybody have anything to say regarding the team presentation and proposal, or should I just jump into the last details in the agenda topic? Perfect. So tomorrow we have Forefront DAO, and I think Juanca and I are attending. So I wanted to see, Edu, if you could just really quick give like a summary of what it will consist, and just like an open invitation for other people in the community.
Yeah, it's in the Forefront DAO Discord server. I paste the link on the comms channel. Basically, it's just a small presentation about the DC. It's their community call, and the point of contact is also referred to. He is waiting for you guys to text him to check, to just like do a check-in. So if you guys can write to him, or one of you can write to him. I have orientation call during that time, so I cannot be the point of contact anymore. But yeah, I think it could be nice as a TC launch there. So he will create a channel, if I'm not wrong, for this call. But yeah, he's just waiting for us to sort of make the contact, and that will be done.
Okay, thank you, Edu. We hope to see like a lot of community support here. And just as an like a last thing, since Nick and Manu are here, I was wondering if we could open the stage for you guys to see if there are any updates or any observations about the onboarding dashboard. I just got back to you, Nick, because you tagged me in the comms channel for helping in the onboarding and taking all of this in account. So yeah, you guys can have the last 3 minutes of this call if you want to discuss like any ideas for this. do you have anything any updates that you would like to give, Manu or Nick?
Actually, we're gonna have a sync call after this call. Nick and I, we scheduled like in the morning, so we'll have some updates tomorrow or in a couple hours. We'll see where we are. We both have some personal issues that got in the way, but now we're good to go, and we want to see where this onboarding dashboard initiative fits into the overall reward system, and if we can maybe get some of the coders, some of the developers that are not going to be too busy with params anymore, and if the due has been filled in rewards, maybe we can use them for the onboarding dashboard. That's all. That's all for Nick and I to discuss, and we'll update everyone on how we plan to move forward.
Just quickly before
Okay,
we close...
Manu.
Sorry. No, just quickly before we close the call, I shared a little presentation that Septimus pulled out the data, and I put it on the comms. It's a PDF with the statistics of the analytics for the Discord and a few of the forum. If anyone takes a look at it and see a little bit of how is the Discord working for new members, retention, and how the community behaves in the Discord, just for anyone who wants to take a look at that, it's their share, and if you want to share feedback, also is welcome.
I couldn't open it in the browser. Sorry, Edu, but it's in the comms channel for anybody that would like to check it out. And also, Manu and Nick, if possible, I would love to join your sync. But I also want to check out what's going on in SoftGov. So I'll see. Maybe half of one and half of the other. But okay, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you very, very much, everyone. I'm very happy with how everything is coming together. Hopefully, we can have a bunch of new contributors in the following week. Yeah, thanks everyone for enriching this and always being able to provide your feedback. I'll see you during the rest of the week, and yeah, have a nice day.